in our office this week, and we had an overwhelming response. With that response, we also received a lot of questions. We wanted to address some of those questions for you today. One question we kept getting was, does this test really show my immunity?
Yeah, and we think a lot of the confusion came from some articles that many people were commenting on, saying that the antibody tests were showing up negative, even though the person was a known confirmed COVID-19 case. But when we looked a little deeper, we found that some of those tests were garbage tests from China, and a lot of clinics, a lot of doctors have sent those back. Some of the other tests, some of these rapid tests, were only checking one antigen and maybe one immunoglobulin. So now the company we use is based out of the United States, and it is the most comprehensive lab that we found to date. It's checking 12 different biomarkers. It's checking 4 different antigens to the virus against 3 different parts of your immune system, the 3 different immunoglobulins, IgM, IgG, and IgA. And the papers they publish, they're super sensitive, over 97% sensitive to this virus, and it's got an over 95% accuracy. So what that means is this test is spot on. Now the other part of this is many people are saying, well, even if it's positive, they said they read some articles that said maybe it doesn't last. Only, you might have immunoglobulins that last 30 or 40 days. We haven't really found that. I mean, that's just not how the immune system works. Now I want to share an article with you to uncover that a little bit. So this is a SARS coronavirus. And if you remember, back in 2002 and 2003, we had a SARS coronavirus as well. And so this is out of the Emerging Infectious Disease article from 2007, and they did a study. So what they did is they published it in 2007, but what they did is they took 176 confirmed SARS patients and they checked their antibodies. So they checked several, but the main one, again, your long-term immunity is from IgG. So they were checking IgG, and they found at just a few days or about a week, 12% of the individuals had IgG already. And by 90 days, it increased to 100% of them had levels of IgG. Now, those levels lasted all the way up to 200 days. And what they found is even at 2 years, over 90% of the individuals still had antibodies. And even up to 3 years, half of them still had antibodies. But I say not to worry, because even when those antibodies start to wane and they do go down, you have created something called memory B cells. Now, these memory B cells are always on high surveillance. So lifelong, they're surveilling, they're looking for that. If you come in contact with this virus again, you're going to be able to ramp up your immune system much quicker. You're going to be able to make those antibodies that much faster because you have memory to that virus.
Another reason why you keep hearing about this antibody testing is because it could possibly lift the stay-at-home order.
In fact, there's another article we have here that was written in the LA Times yesterday. And so I'll just read to you what the governor was saying. He said that they need to start testing broader samples of the public through the state, not just the people exhibiting COVID-19 symptoms. And he's saying with the antibody testing. And he said this will help officials determine when to lift the stay-at-home order, okay? Now, the article goes on further to say that I think they tested around 1,000 this time, but they said the first round of results, which have been collected but not yet published, it says that it makes clear that many people have been infected and are not showing symptoms. So that's important to know. So what they're calling for is for a broader part of the public, a broader part of the citizens to be checked for these antibodies, because the article is stating that once we get to around 60%, we can reach that herd immunity and we can then start to lift these restrictions.
This is why we will continue to do antibody testing in our office this week. And we are here for you. If you have any questions, please contact us.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, we're really ramping up testing here as well. We're adding an additional day to keep up with the demand. We're adding an additional day next week. And we've gotten our system down pretty good. We're getting up to, we can confidently process 40 to 50 samples per day now. Okay, everybody. Like my wife said, contact us if you have any questions. Make sure y'all stay healthy and stay tuned for more information.